So let's go ahead and get started. So today we're talking about goal setting and picking the right platform for your goals when it comes to social media. It's not the most exciting topic, I recognize that, but it's very important, and we'll talk about why. So why is it important to set goals for social media? First off, they hold you accountable. I know I've set a million goals over my lifetime, and how many have I actually reached? I don't know. But when you write it down, it holds you more accountable. You can look at it, refer back to it. So two, they guide your social media budget. Your goals and your budget will vary. So, say your goals are more about gaining followers rather than getting new leads, that's going to have a different budget. So it'll kind of dictate. And I said they provide context for the money you're spending. And it's true, like you don't want to waste money from your budget and not achieve anything from it, right? Like you want good results from the money that you're spending. So they also make it easier to determine if your strategy is working. So you can refer back to that goal and say, okay, did I meet my goal? And is that boosting my overall strategy? Rather than just kind of winging it, and then you never really can measure if that strategy is working for your social media or not. And then I included some just fun facts kind of about people that set goals. So people who have goals are 10 times more successful than people who don't. And then people who write those goals down are 30 times more successful than people that don't have any goals. So if you're, a stats person or a math person, there's some insight for you. I thought we'd talk about SMART goals. I'm sure most of you have heard of these, probably. But SMART goals, so S is for specific. Your goal should be clearly defined. And the more specific, the better. It shouldn't be vague at all. Then measurable, is it quantifiable? So, instead of saying, I want to expand my followers or gain new followers, you say, okay, I want 30 new followers. You put a number to it just because it's easier to define if you've reached that goal or not. So then next is achievable. Is it realistic? Is it something that you actually, can reach? So I would say, saying I'm going to gain 10,000 followers in a month, not so realistic, but I'm going to gain 20 followers in a month, probably a little more realistic. So you don't want to shoot too high because you'll never reach it, but you want to be something that's pushing you and challenging you. So somewhere in the middle. Relevant, your goal should be clearly aligned with your business objectives. And so that's, you want to think about your business and what your business goals are, and your social media goals should follow that. And then time sensitive, goals should always be on a timeline. So you kind of want to set a deadline for yourself when you're expecting to achieve your goal. So it could be a month from now, a week from now, a year from now, just a timeline, because that'll help keep you accountable too. And then here's an example of a SMART goal. It's a lot of writing. But the SMART goal overall is at the end of this month, our blog will see 8% lift in traffic by increasing our weekly publishing frequency from 5 posts per week to 8 posts per week. So if you break it down, it starts with, it's specific. They want to boost their blog's traffic, but how? How are they doing that? Measurable, they want an 8% increase in our goal. That's a defined number that they're trying to reach. Our blog traffic increased by 5% last month when they were publishing 3 to 5 times per week. So this is kind of like, why do we think this goal is achievable? Because we've already seen it in action. So we're just going to take it a step further. And then relevant, by increasing blog traffic will boost brand awareness and generate more leads. So how does this fit in with their overall business goals? How do those two work together? And then their timeline, end of this month, really specific. It gives them a date to work towards. And I have an Excel sheet that I stole from HubSpot because they're a really good resource, but it basically breaks down when you're creating your SMART goal, and it helps you create it. So it'll help you figure out, you know, your measurable, like if you're looking for a number, it'll help you calculate it. It's a really good resource. So I'll send that out at the end of this class too. And then here's some example goals for social media. So kind of just to get you thinking what your goals can be. The first one would be increasing brand awareness. And brand awareness basically is how many people know you exist and understand kind of what you do. So that recognition of your personal brand through the name. So when people hear your name, do they automatically think, okay, real estate agent? Like I can go to them with housing questions, I'm looking to buy, sell, etc. This is the most common goal that brands typically have for social media, just kind of getting their name out there, getting people to recognize them. But don't forget, you personally are the brand in this case, right? You're the agent and that's your business. And then some measurables for brand awareness would be like your followers count or how many page likes you have, your post reach. So when you're posting something, how many people is it actually reaching? Or like mentions, are people tagging you in posts? That's kind of all brand awareness, you know, who's talking about you. And then on the side, I added this kind of chart, the purchase funnel or the marketing funnel. But basically it starts with awareness and then it kind of funnels in, and action would be, you know, like a sale or actually getting a client. But awareness is the top of the funnel because, you know, people need to know who you are. They need to have a good sense of you and your brand before they're going to become a client, if that makes sense. So another goal would be generating leads and sales, obviously, so turning your likes into actual business. And so this is done, I mean, offline too, but getting people to share information with you so you can keep that conversation up, build that relationship. So some examples of how to do this would be gated content. This is like, if you go on a website and they have a landing page and it says like, get your free market analysis, put in your email and we'll send it to you. That's gated content. So you can do that with your social media. That's a good way to collect emails, collect information. You can also do contests. So say, you know, email us pictures of your, I don't know, before and after photos or something like that, just to get people providing you that contact information, and then you can maintain that relationship afterwards. Another one is email forms. So if you send out an email with your new listings every week or something, that's a really good way, obviously, to generate leads, and that's something you can post on your social media too. So another goal is building and engaging a community. I think this is one of the most important ones. It improves brand perception, loyalty, and word of mouth recommendations. You know, and it kind of makes people feel like they're in this, you know, clique, or they have this group of people that have similar interests and want to hear updates from each other. So it makes your followers feel connected to you and other people in the brand. So it could be your clients, but also, you know, friends, family, just anyone in your sphere that's interested in you as a brand and what you're doing. That's going to be your community. And it's important to foster that community, you know, so yeah, they can talk amongst each other, but you need to be engaging with it. So that can be done through Facebook groups, if you're posting in groups, or maybe hosting a group. I think that's a really great idea too. Encouraging engagement on your posts. So encouraging or posting things that encourage comments, likes, shares, anything to get that conversation started. And then when people do comment, you know, actively responding to those comments, being personal, saying, I'm here, I'm listening, you know, we're all in this together. This is our community. And then reviews too. If people leave reviews on your site, that's a great way to engage. And then sharing content from your clients or your followers. So that's a really good way too to say, I'm equally invested in you, in my community, in my followers. And people love content like that. Those typically get, you know, a lot of likes and engagement. And then another goal would be managing your reputation. So kind of like we have reputations offline, and people have their ideas about us. It's the same thing online. So this goal is kind of all about tracking, monitoring, and kind of trying to eliminate negative content about your brand or you as a realtor. And overall, this will strengthen trust in your brand. So if this is one of your goals, you can focus on responding to customer reviews, even if they're negative, and kind of explaining the situation, what happened, you're sorry to hear they had a bad experience, something like that. Encouraging your clients to post good reviews if they had a good experience with you. And then sharing reviews from other websites on your social media. So if someone posts a really great review on Zillow, it's okay to make a graphic or post that on your Facebook or your Instagram page, sharing that from another resource, but still positive review for you. So it's basically, this goal is all about kind of your PR and making sure it's a positive image that you're portraying, and that's what's coming across to people. So this is what your goal should not be, just increasing likes and followers. This is what they call vanity metrics. So this really only works if your followers are dedicated to you and to your business. Otherwise, they don't provide real value. They look good on your page, but if they're not engaging, they're not bringing you leads, anything like that, they're just there for looks. They don't actually provide anything. So I would try to aim away from goals that focus just on, these likes and followers. This is an example that I pulled from Jay's Facebook. I think he does a really good job on his Facebook page. He has, I think, 1,000 followers maybe, but his engagement's really high. So he's really kind of built this sense of community. So if you look, the one on the left, he got 33 comments on his post, which is really, I think, really high and impressive for his follower count. And then the one on the right, he got 27, and that's also really high. So he's an example of someone that's really kind of fostered this community, and people trust him, they trust his content, and they're engaging with it. Kind of on the other side, Hometown has our Facebook page. I think we have, I don't know, like 3,700 followers or people that like us. But we tend to get a lot fewer likes and engagement than, say, Jay's page. Because I do think, realtors are at an advantage because it's so personal. So people liking and engaging with Jay's comments are people that he's worked with, that he knows on a personal level, and they have a vested interest in Jay. So whereas like the Hometown page is kind of general, we have, 300 something agents, so people don't have that personal connection, but you as realtors, you have that personal connection with your followers. Okay, so now let's talk about social media platforms for different goals. The first one we'll go through is Facebook. I think Facebook is kind of everybody's go-to, but if you're not interested in having Facebook, I think that's totally fine. I think you can have multiple platforms or just one platform, and it doesn't have to be this one. But Facebook is best for building relationships, building brand loyalty, generating leads. And if you're interested in doing ads, Facebook is probably the best platform for that because they run really targeted ads. Some facts about it: there's 2.45 billion monthly users. It's the biggest social media site. And I know those numbers are compelling, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the best for your social media strategy. And 88% of people are on the platform to stay in touch with family and friends. So I think this goes back to people are looking for really personal content. They're not really looking to be, like courted by a business or something. They're looking for people that they know and they're interested in keeping in touch with. So that's where you come in and you add a personal touch to your strategy. So you're not just another business. You're someone that they know. And then some pros. So they're a local SEO. So Google uses Facebook in their search algorithm. So if they Google your name, your Facebook page will pop up as a search result, which obviously is a huge benefit. and other social media sites don't necessarily have that. They also do event registrations. I'm sure a lot of you have RSVP for events on Facebook, but they're one of the only social media sites that does this. I think that's a great tool to use. And then almost 60% of Facebook users are ages 25 to 54. And I put this as a pro because I think that's kind of going to be your target age range, maybe above or maybe below, but I'd say most people that you're trying to target are going to be in that age range. And then it can utilize multiple types of content. So Facebook's great for sharing videos, links, polls, photos, posts with just text. Really any type of content you can think of, you can use it on Facebook, and that's not necessarily the case for all the other sites. All right, so next up we have Twitter. I don't know if any of you are Twitter users. I think Twitter's fun, but it's definitely different than Facebook. It's best for PR for your brand, direct interaction with clients, kind of building those relationships, brand awareness, and then providing customer service. That's a really big one. These days, a lot of people, you know, if they buy a product or something, they'll tweet the company if there's an issue with it. And typically companies are really responsive. So it's this, you know, personal interaction, providing customer service. So most Twitter users are under the age of 50. They are kind of on the younger side. But I would say the ones that are there are pretty active. You know, they're monitoring it frequently, and that's kind of where they're getting their news and their information from. Some of the pros, low-level expertise is needed. Twitter is really easy to use and get the hang of. Facebook can be kind of complicated, figuring out all the different tools that are available. Twitter is pretty simple. You know, you only have, I think now, 280 characters to write, so you don't have to be really wordy. You can include a photo, a link, a video. That's kind of the extent. It's perfect for in-the-moment information. So Twitter moves really fast, which is different from Facebook. So Facebook, you can post something, and 12 hours later, it'll still be showing up on people's news feeds. Twitter, not so much. Twitter, you know, you post it and you kind of move on. There's not, if it gains a lot of traction, people will still see it for a while. But for the most part, people will view it, and then that's kind of it. So it's good for alerts, say, you know, you're listing an open house or you're at an open house and things are happening. You can tweet updates and people can check and see, oh, okay, she's still there. You know, they can tweet questions at you. It's really good for in the moment kind of situations. And then news sharing too. You know, if you want to share links or links to your listings or just general news, either about the industry or not about the industry, that's cool too. Twitter's a really good place for that. And as I said, it's great for building meaningful relationships with your clients. A lot of people go to Twitter to have conversations kind of with the brands that they're interested in and follow. And so that can be a great resource for you as well. And then the last one I have is Instagram. I know a couple of you on here have Instagrams. So Instagram is great for building brand loyalty and then building those relationships and community too. So 80% of Instagram accounts follow a business account. So if you're making, some of you might have personal pages, as Liz was saying the other day, you can take that into a business account page, which has some pros kind of over a personal account. You know, you can add a contact button, which is really useful. You can look at insights of who's viewing your content and where they're kind of viewing it from, how they found it. There are 500 million active daily users, so this is another huge social media site. And the majority of those users are females. So kind of think about that too when you're determining your goals and how that fits in with your target audience. Some of the pros to Instagram, it's much easier to gain an organic following than Facebook is. So everything on Facebook right now, it's really difficult to gain followers organically. A lot of it comes from paying for ads, but Instagram, you know, it's not so much like that. There's a lot of use of hashtags and other ways to find content that you don't have to pay for. I said it works for real estate because it's a really visual industry. So every listing you do, you have beautiful photos from your listing, and people want to see those. It's a great place to show those off. It also spreads word of mouth awareness, and it's easier to navigate than Facebook. So Instagram is a lot simpler. There's way less you can do with it. It's mostly photo and video based. It's kind of difficult to share a link on Instagram. So it's a lot simpler. I think this has its pros and cons, but they're different platforms, So kind of think about, okay, does Instagram fit into my goals a little more than Facebook does? What am I trying to accomplish? And then I added this quote because I thought it just kind of summed up this lesson nicely. Social media is just a buzzword until you come up with a plan. Like most things in life, it requires a goal or a plan to kind of get where you want to go. And it's the same thing with social media. So just take into account, your end goal for your social media and what you want to get from it. And that's it. So I will unmute you all.
Thank you.
Oh, maybe I can't unmute you all. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, sorry, Brenda, I only just saw your chat.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Would you suggest me, I was doing a lot of research because I think my problem is trying to figure out what I should post. And I know you do send out some social media for us to post on Instagram and Facebook, but would you suggest going through and making kind of like a schedule of what we should be posting and when we should be posting it?
Yeah, I think that's the easiest way to do it, and the easiest way to stay consistent with your social media, because consistency is really, key and important. So I would say if you can dedicate a few hours every week to going through and making a schedule and coming up with that content, I think that's really helpful. I know Facebook, you can schedule them ahead of time, which is what I do for all of ours. And there's programs that do it too. You have to pay for most of them. But I think that's really beneficial. I try to do that with Hometown's social media. Don't always do it well, but I try. So I would really recommend that.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know it's so hard to come up with content to post when you're posting every week. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone else have questions? I know you're all muted. You can unmute yourselves.
Okay. Well, content and things like that. I've considered using some of the information I sent out in my monthly mailings, and but how much, where, none of the media do you want to have a huge amount of content. So if I've got more, if I wanted to send out, like a copy of a flyer or whatever, a lot of times it's too big to be accepted by Facebook, on my business page.
Right.
That's one of the problems I have. Or I'll post something on, like today I posted something, and it's on my personal page, and I was trying to get it over to Instagram, but haven't quite figured it out yet. It takes me too long to put content out there.
Okay. Yeah. I think, so definitely with the Instagram and the Facebook, there's a way to link them. And do you have a business page or do you have a personal page?
I have a business page and a personal page.
Okay. So if you turn your Instagram, and maybe you can do it with a personal page, but if you make it a business page, you can request to link them. So if you post something on Instagram, it'll post right on Facebook too, if you want it to.
So is it better to post to my business page and then try to get it over to Instagram? Because when I first started, it was, do you post it to your personal page first and copy it to your business page? And I got two different answers from two different people, of course. So it's,
I would say always aim for your business side, you know, your real estate side, I would say always aim to be posting on your business page,
Right.
because you can take what's on your business page and share it on your personal page. So it will show up on your personal page with the link to your business page. So all your friends and your family that you're friends with on Facebook will see it pop up, and they'll see it connected to that business page. So if they want to like that page, you know, it'll be right there, easy for them to click on and like.
Okay, so you said like link. If I just set the post up on my business page and then just like share it to another page, there's not a link, because sometimes when I'll copy stuff and I have a link, I don't want that link showing in
I get what you're saying. Yeah. So if you're sharing to your personal page, there should be a share button, and you should have the option to share it onto your personal profile. Like, you don't necessarily have to click copy and paste with the link. Does that make sense?
Okay.
There should be a share button underneath of your post.
On my business page or the personal page?
On your business page.
On the business page, because okay. All right, I'm a fool with that.
And if you want help, we can walk through that together. Like,
I actually just did that this weekend, because I did an open house, and so John Hicks, who started me with helped me get my Facebook page set up, my business page. I always do exactly what Kat just said. I post it to my business page first because of the compliancy. So all your real estate compliancy is on your business page. So you have your phone number, the firm, all of that. So you don't have to worry about breaking any rules. And then what I have to do, so what Kat was saying about sharing it, if I go to share on my business page and try to share it directly to my personal page, it's not letting me do that. So I actually have to go into my personal page and then search me as a business person. And I pull up my business page, and then I share it that way. So it'll, like, I can share it, but I have to go through my personal, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
there
it
might
has
be
to
an
be done
easier
for your
way to
personal
do
account.
it, but I kind of had trouble with that too. I can't just go to my hometown page and then try to share that to my personal page unless there's something that I'm doing wrong. I have to go into my personal page and then find the post that I put on my business page and then share it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
I don't know.
Like
I said, there may be an easier way to do it, and I'm going, you know, around my elbow to get to it. But
that's my job. I always do it the hard way.
I want to figure out the easy way. If anybody has an easy way, let us know.
I'll do some investigating.
Well, does it help? Because what I did was I had a picture on my phone, and I shared it from my phone to my Facebook page, but it went straight to my personal page. Okay. And so anyway, but yeah, I'm going to get in there, and you'll be sorry, Kate.
Does anyone else have any questions? No? Okay. Any comments, concerns?
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you all for coming. I'll have another class Friday at 9 a.m. So you're welcome to join then too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kat.
Have a good week.
You're welcome.
You too.
Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.